Welcome to the BFF Report. I'm your host, Mike B, aka Phony, and today we're going to be talking about LEGO Universe, if you couldn't already tell. This is going to be the last time that you actually see this green screen here. It's going to be taken down. I know many memories of this. I was going to wait to episode 100 and just maybe tear the whole thing down, but I was like, nah, I need room for other stuff. So this is it. As you can see, I didn't have the microphone hooked up like I normally do, like over here, whatever. So you can hear me through this microphone, which is kind of cool. So anyways, LEGO Universe. There's a reason why we're doing this, and it's because I was going to do this BFF report about 3 months ago, and then I got most of it done, and all that was left was like the host part and filling in the gaps in certain areas. Then they came out, they said, oh, we're going to shut down January 31st or something like that, and I was like, great, or January 30th, 31st, 30th, whatever. At the end of January, they're going to be shutting down, and so I was like, crap, I don't want to like just throw it away. And so I figured, hey. Now, the first thing I want to point out is that the free-to-play accounts only have one character slot available to them. So keep that in mind, all of you guys who are planning on doing a video review on LEGO Universe in the future. Make sure you get that footage before moving on. Thankfully, YouTube user LEGO Build Zone has so graciously and unknowingly allowed me to use this video. Now, what we're looking at here is the head customization, right? You have the different hairs that you can select, the hair pieces. You can change the color of them, and later on you're gonna get hats and all that stuff you can put on. And you can change the eyebrows, the eyes, and the mouth. Now, right now we're looking at what looks like a female character, right? But with a couple of good spins, you could change it into a male character. Now, there is no selector for male or female. It's just really whatever pieces you put together. So make a woman, make a man, or make a pat. It's totally up to you. Now, the game itself is actually split into two different sections. There's the MMO side, which is all the questing and the mini games, etc. And then there's the building side, which is another beast all in itself, and we'll talk about that later. First off, the MMO side. Now, the main story arc is essentially the Maelstrom, which is the main antagonist, is threatening to take over all of the imagination and take it all for itself or destroy it or whatever. And it's up to you to help save imagination. Let's go and talk about the UI and combat. So in the upper left corner, you see my level, you see my name, you see how much money I have, you see how much experience I have, you see my health, and you see my armor. The red is the health, the 7, or the 4 now, is the armor. In the upper right corner, we have the mini-map, then right below that, there's the ever-present Become a Member button, reminding you to become a member, and then the lower left, social, lower right, menu options, and then right smack dab in the middle, we have my 1 through 5 keys there, 1 being my left arm, 3 being my right arm, 2 being the hat activator. So for example, I had a hat that gave me increased run speed for 15 seconds, and I can activate it by pushing 2. Then there's the back item, and then the bag use, which is like your health pots. Right below that is your imagination. So let's go ahead and switch to another view here so I can show you what this is for. All right, so here I am killing off dudes, getting imagination by killing them, right? They drop imagination because they're carrying it around for some reason. And then I hold down the shift key and I built this satellite that's gonna call in an airstrike. You'll see it here in just a second. And there it is. And that cost me imagination, not the airstrike, but building the item back there. And I should also note that there are abilities that use up imagination, but since it grows on trees here, it's not that big of a deal. Now, increasing the amount of imagination you can carry, and this is getting into the stats phase, is actually determined by the gear you're wearing. So for example, if I have a maximum of 9 imagination that I carry at any given time, then I get a hat that increases it by +1, then I can now carry 10. And that's how itemization works in this game as far as health and armor and all that's concerned. The questing flow in LEGO Universe is interesting, and I say interesting because I have a free account, so I can't move on to the other zones, so I can't say things like, oh, it's grindy, because maybe if I was a premium account holder, I can move on to the next zone and continue leveling through there. But my experience as a free account holder was I do a quest in a hub, it unlocks other quests in the hub, and then I move on to the next hub, and then it repeats, and then I get to the very end, and at the end, there are all these quest givers that give me these little quests that take me all the way back to the beginning. And then once I complete those, they unlock other quests in the areas I already was in. So for example, one of them was like kill X amount of things or build 4 or 5 of these turrets or something. And then I did that. And then I went back and he was like, man, you are so good at building turrets. Why don't you go ahead and build 20 more? Now, at this point, I've already completed all the normal quests in the zone. I guess we could look at it like this. And so all they were doing is just basically reusing content to give you more stuff to do should you decide to just hang out in this one particular area. Or if you have a free-to-play account and you can't leave this area, then I guess that makes sense too. For example, there are these little mini games, and this particular one is to race up to the top of this Lego man here, and then they'll give you a time. You actually start at the bottom, you interact with the start points, and it starts a timer. You run up to the very top. When you get there, it gives you your score, and it tells you how you rated against everybody else who has done that today, this week, whatever. And then there are the survival type mini games that put you in an arena with 3 other players. So you have a little party here, and the goal is to just stay alive for as long as you can while you fight off waves upon waves of Lego bad guys. And all of this stuff is available within just the first handful of levels here, so there is a lot of content here. Some of it seems like weird and repetitive, like I mentioned before. It's interesting, right? And then there's the inline stuff, there's the mini games. So if this is any representation of what's on the other side of the premium wall, then it should be considered when you know, deciding whether or not you want to actually pay for it. Now let's go ahead and segue into the creative side. And you're probably wondering, why am I looking at a giant spider boss here when we're gonna talk about the creative stuff? It's because she is standing literally on my lawn, okay? This is the plot of land that I'm gonna claim for my own, and in order to get it, I have to get rid of her. Everything you see in the surrounding area here is mine, and this plot of land can actually be opened up for just my friends or for anybody to come in to check it out and grief you. Now, I didn't build these individual wall pieces. They came like this, and they come in these packs, you know, like a castle build pack number 1, castle build pack number 2, whatever. And I tried to make it a point to just collect these so I could build like a cool castle or something. But this is like your most basic type of structure. And I say basic as in there's little to no actual work or talent involved with building something using these, because it's all there, it's plug and play. The castle set, though, is not the only set available. There's various themes, and the 2 that I came across was obviously the castle and then the house set. So I somehow managed to acquire a chunk of wall with a piece of roofing. Then there's the kitchen, I think, there, the dishwasher or something. And then I got this cannon. I don't even know, man. There are trees, there's all that stuff. There's tons of pre-made things that you could use to kind of spice up your area. But the fun part for me, anyways, it may be because I grew up playing with Legos, is the actual building the stuff yourself. So here I am building I wanted to build a helicopter because I used to build Airwolf, and I was the best Airwolf Lego builder you've ever seen in your life. But unfortunately, I couldn't figure out how to make the moving parts until later on. So maybe I'll go back later and like make Airwolf. I don't know. Anyways, so this is supposed to be a plane. It's a very terrible plane, but I think you get the point. You build stuff by placing individual blocks, just like real Legos, and you can rotate them any way you want, sideways, upside down, whatever. You're pretty much not limited. And now look at the bag here. I have a billion pieces to work with. Every piece they've probably ever made is available to you, but you have to acquire them by either doing quests, they drop off randomly from mobs, or you could buy them from various vendors, and the vendors typically carry a whole bunch of them. And it looks like as you level up and you progress in the game, you actually unlock new blocks as well. All right, so check out this block. This block is good looking, right? I'm good at Legos, so I make good looking blocks. Now I'm going to open up the scripting side of things. Notice my plane over there is freaking out. It's because I did some behavior modifications of that thing and it got crazy on me, so I don't even know what to do with it. So I made this block, and I'm gonna go ahead and say, whenever somebody pushes shift, I want it to move up X amount of whatever, and then I want it to also do other things. I don't want to just move up. I want to go to make it move up and then maybe to the right for X amount of meters or points or whatever their form of measurement is. After that, I'll have it move down. This way it could land, and I could script all these crazy things to react to the various forms of interaction. So you can actually tell it to, whenever you hit it, it will shatter into a billion pieces and then rebuild itself later on, much like the intro that I did. Now we're gonna go ahead and interact with it using shift. And like I said, I could go ahead and use, hit it with axe and it will do something. And you see it's moving exactly the way I told it to. Again, my plane is freaking out. Now watch what happens. I keep on hitting it. I'm gonna move it over on top of the plane here, and you'll see this is where things start to get kind of funky. See, it's not coming all the way to the ground. It actually interacts with other objects. So there's various things you could do with this. You could make, people were making like the little puppies and stuff out of Legos, and you hit it and it'll like run in a circle and make a sound. They're making elevators. There's just a ridiculous number of things you could do, but let's go ahead and just see a couple of things that other people have created. Here's a good example of somebody doing it right. The Fortress of Doom, I guess. This is, I hope, a lot of pre-made pieces. Otherwise, this guy is intense. He's got guards. He's got a spaceship over here. I mean, this thing is sweet, right? A portal. He's got guard dragons. It got guards chasing me, as a matter of fact. Again, this is all pre-built pieces, so not a lot you could do with those. So let's go ahead and take a look at something a little bit more put together from scratch.
This particular plot of land is insane. This is a fully functioning Ferris wheel. And you got robots walking around talking and stuff. There's random things going up and down. I could smash things, I think. Oh, sure can. And eventually it should rebuild. I'm gonna go ahead and smash up this guy's Ferris. Just feel like a bully, right? Smashing other kids' Legos and stuff. What's up, kid? Huh? How you like that? Wow, what is this? Oh, fighting a giant devil duck. Yeah, so there's all this stuff quite obviously built from scratch. Serious abusive behaviors. This kid's dad is obviously very good at this game.
All right, guys, so that wraps everything up. This is the last time you're gonna see this green screen here, and it's also the last time you're gonna see Lego Universe here. So thanks again for watching. Next week, I think I'm gonna do a wrap-up show for 2011. Gonna be like a BFF report wrap-up, like things that I've actually played, because I hadn't played a lot of Skyrim. Like, I played like this much Skyrim, which is a lot. So it's definitely not gonna be at the top of any of my lists. It's gonna be at the top of my, if I had 200 hours to spare, I would totally get this game list. So that's it, aka Mike B, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, all the good stuff, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.